The most shocking fact about the event was never the appearance of the papayas. Within minutes, similar reports began emerging from all over the planet. In the hours that followed, teams around the world began analyzing the phenomenon. And they all seemed to reach the same conclusion. None of the disasters that were expected had occurred. The explanation seemed to lie in the objects that had disappeared from the hands of billions of people. But those objects were not simply disappearing. They had all been found in places where they could cause no harm. When the risk was unavoidable, it was simply removed. Sometimes the person themselves had to be moved. For some, their own bodies had to be restored. And, contrary to expectations, that restoration did not disappear. After the event, the papayas began obeying the same rules as any other object. Before long, some of those papayas had already been discarded. Others were simply put away. Within days, many of them had already begun to rot. With so many discarded papayas, city sanitation soon had to adapt. Some of them ended up following the fate of any other organic waste. Urban wildlife also found a new source of food. Some people decided to plant their own seeds. But the papayas had not been transported from anywhere. They had simply appeared. With papayas available for free, demand for the fruit fell drastically. Prices began to fall rapidly. As sales declined, part of the production began to go to waste. Some producers began reducing production. Others began considering alternatives. The crisis was already beginning to concern the entire industry. The producers then decided to find the responsible. The case eventually reached the courts. The problem was that the defendant could not be found. Without an identifiable party responsible, the case was eventually dismissed. With no signs of another event, the market began to stabilize. But no one knew if it would happen again. Governments around the world began discussing how to respond to another event. Without knowing if or when another event would occur, their options were limited. A few weeks later, the effects of the event already seemed to belong to the past. But the most shocking discovery was that free will was more fragile than we had imagined.